Before you throw the blankets off and jump out of bed tomorrow morning, slow down for a second. Seriously. If your lower back feels stiff the moment you stand up, if your hips ache, if your knees feel weak or unstable during those first few steps, your body may be warning you about something much bigger than normal aging. A lot of people over 60 think morning pain is just part of getting older, but honestly, that's not always true. What I've seen over and over is that many older adults are waking up with glute muscles that have basically shut down overnight. And when those muscles aren't working, your lower back and knees are forced to carry your entire body weight alone the second you stand up. That puts enormous stress on joints that are already vulnerable. Over time, balance gets worse. Walking feels less stable. Even simple movements become harder than they should be. Welcome to the Senior Health Channel. Today, I'm going to show you a gentle routine that can help wake these muscles back up before your feet even touch the floor. And if you care about protecting your mobility and staying independent as you age, subscribe to the channel and stay with me through this video. A lot of people have never heard the term gluteal amnesia, but honestly, I see signs of it all the time in older adults. It simply means the muscles in your hips and backside stop activating the way they're supposed to, and one of the biggest reasons is modern life. Years of sitting in cars, sitting at work, sitting on the couch, moving less and less over time. The body slowly adapts to that inactivity. Little by little, the glutes become weaker and forget how to properly support the body. The problem is, those muscles are incredibly important. They help keep your pelvis stable, they support your posture, they protect your spine and knees every time you stand up, walk, or climb stairs. Once they stop doing their job, other parts of the body start overworking to compensate. That's why so many people over 60 feel unstable when walking, or notice themselves leaning forward more than they used to. Balance starts getting worse. Simple movements feel harder. And many seniors assume this is just normal aging. But honestly, weak glutes can quietly create problems that have nothing to do with age itself. In many cases, the body isn't too old. It's just lost the strength and muscle activation it once had. One thing that worries me about morning pain after 60 is how quickly it can lead to a serious fall. A lot of older adults wake up, swing their legs off the bed, and stand up immediately before their muscles are even ready to support them. The problem is, after hours of lying still overnight, the hips and glutes are often weak and inactive. So when you suddenly put your full body weight on them, the lower back and knees take all the pressure instead. That's why those first few steps in the morning can feel stiff, shaky, or unstable. I've had patients tell me they almost fell just walking to the bathroom half asleep. And honestly, it only takes one bad step, one moment of instability. Research has shown that poor glute activation and weak hip stability are strongly connected to serious falls in older adults. Once balance starts declining, the body reacts slower. The hips can't stabilize properly. The knees wobble more. And a simple trip on the edge of a rug or one awkward step down the stairs can completely change a person's independence. That's the part many people underestimate. Falls don't just cause injuries. They often create fear. And once seniors become afraid of falling, they start moving less, which only makes the body weaker over time. Now, before we do anything complicated, I want to start with one of the simplest movements in this entire routine. Honestly, this exercise may not look impressive, but for a lot of older adults, it can be the first step toward getting their strength and stability back. I call it the wake-up squeeze. The reason this works is because many glute muscles are not truly weak at first. They're inactive. The brain has slowly stopped communicating with them properly after years of sitting, inactivity, and reduced movement. So before the body can move better, we first need to wake that connection back up again. And the safest way to do that is without stressing the joints at all. Just lie comfortably on your back in bed. Keep your body relaxed. Then slowly squeeze the muscles in your hips and buttocks together as tightly as you comfortably can. Hold for a few seconds, then relax completely. That's it. No equipment, no painful movement, no pressure on the knees or spine. What I really like about this exercise is that almost anyone can do it, even people who feel weak, stiff, or afraid of hurting themselves. And over time, these small muscle contractions send a powerful signal from the brain back to the body. Little by little, those sleeping muscles begin waking up and supporting you again the way they were meant to. Now, this next movement is something I often recommend to older adults who struggle with traditional glute bridges. A lot of people try lifting their hips on a soft mattress and immediately feel pressure in the lower back instead of the muscles they're actually trying to strengthen. Honestly, that can do more harm than good if the body isn't stable enough yet. That's why I like mattress heel presses so much. They're much gentler, but they still activate the glutes very effectively. Stay lying on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the bed. Then instead of lifting your hips upward, simply press your heels straight down into the mattress as hard as you comfortably can. The moment you do that, you'll feel the muscles in your hips and the back of your legs tighten up. Hold that pressure for a few seconds, then slowly relax. No fast movement. No arching the lower back. The key here is control. What makes this exercise so safe is that your spine stays supported against the mattress the entire time. That reduces strain while still teaching the glutes to work again. For many seniors, this becomes a much safer way to rebuild strength without triggering unnecessary back pain first thing in the morning. Now, this next exercise may seem small, but honestly, it works on one of the biggest problems older adults deal with after 60, losing side-to-side stability. A lot of falls don't happen because someone is weak moving forward. They happen because the hips can't stabilize the body fast enough when stepping sideways, turning, or catching balance. That's where the clamshell exercise really helps. Lie comfortably on your side with your knees bent and your legs stacked together. Keep your feet touching the entire time. Then slowly raise your top knee upward while keeping your hips completely still. That part matters more than people realize. A lot of people roll their whole body backward without noticing it, and then the hips stop doing the work. You want the movement controlled and focused right in the side of the hip. You should feel those smaller, stabilizing muscles working almost immediately. These muscles are incredibly important for walking safely. They help keep the pelvis level and prevent the body from wobbling side to side. When they become weak, balance starts getting shaky, and the knees often become less stable too. I've seen many older adults improve their walking confidence once these muscles start strengthening again. And the nice thing is, this exercise is gentle, safe, and easy to do right in bed without putting stress on the joints. Now, this final movement is probably the one that gives people the biggest sense of relief the fastest. I've had older adults tell me this was the first time in months they felt their hips loosen up without sharp pain afterward. It's called the figure 4 stretch and pull. Lie on your back and cross one ankle over the opposite knee, making a figure 4 shape with your legs. Then gently pull the supporting leg toward your chest until you feel a stretch deep in the hip and buttock area. Right there is where a lot of hidden tension builds up over the years, especially around the muscles near the sciatic nerve. But here's the part that makes this movement different. While holding the stretch, gently push the raised knee outward just a little, almost like a tiny pulse. It's a very small movement, but it activates the deeper hip muscles while the stretch is opening everything up at the same time. That combination matters. You're not only loosening tight muscles, you're teaching them to support the body better too. I really like this exercise because it improves mobility without forcing the joints aggressively. And for many seniors, relieving that deep hip tightness can make walking, standing, and even getting out of bed feel smoother and far less painful. Sometimes people don't realize how much pressure and stiffness they've been carrying until the body finally starts letting go of it. What makes this routine so powerful is not just the exercises themselves. It's the timing. Most people wait until after they stand up and feel pain before thinking about their muscles. But by then, the stress has already hit the lower back, hips, and knees. This routine changes that. It prepares the body before those first steps ever happen. And honestly, that can make a huge difference for older adults. When you wake the glutes up first, blood flow improves, the hips stabilize better, and the spine gets support from the muscles instead of carrying all the pressure alone. The body feels more balanced and connected instead of stiff and unstable. I've seen many seniors say they feel steadier just walking across the room after doing these movements consistently for a few weeks. That's because the body responds surprisingly well to small daily habits. It does not always need extreme workouts. Sometimes it just needs gentle reminders to activate the muscles that have been ignored for years. And one thing I always tell people is this: independence is built through small daily actions. Being able to get out of bed confidently, walk safely through the house, and move without fear matters more than most people realize. These little routines may seem simple, but over time they can help protect mobility, confidence, and quality of life in a very real way. One thing I really wish more older adults understood is that getting stronger after 60 is not about pushing your body harder. It's about staying consistent. Honestly, a lot of people give up because they think they need intense workouts or long exercise routines to see results. But the body usually responds better to small movements done regularly. That's especially true for seniors. You do not need to wake up sore or exhausted every day to improve your mobility. In many cases, just a few minutes of gentle movement every morning can slowly rebuild strength and stability over time. I've seen people improve their posture, walk more confidently, and even reduce daily pain simply because they stayed consistent with simple routines like this. The changes are usually gradual at first. Maybe standing up feels easier. Maybe the knees feel a little steadier. Maybe there's less fear walking across the room. Those small improvements matter more than people realize because they add up. And honestly, aging itself is not the real enemy. The real problem is when the body stops moving and the muscles stop being used. The good news is, the body can still adapt, even later in life. Muscles can wake back up, balance can improve, confidence can come back. Sometimes people just need to stop believing the idea that getting older automatically means becoming weak. And honestly, that's why I really hope you give this routine a chance tomorrow morning before you get out of bed. Not next week, not when the pain gets worse. Start with a few small movements and see how your body responds. Because the truth is, many adults over 60 still have far more strength and potential than they realize. The body may feel stiff right now. Balance may not feel as steady as it once did. But that does not mean your best years of movement are completely gone. I've seen people regain confidence simply by becoming more consistent with small daily habits like these. Little by little, the body starts feeling safer again. Standing up becomes easier. Walking feels more stable. Fear begins fading. And honestly, that sense of independence means everything. As we get older, nobody wants to feel afraid of falling or dependent on others for basic movement. That's why routines like this matter so much. They help the body remember how to support itself again. Thank you so much for spending this time with us today, here on the Senior Health Channel. I truly hope this video gave you hope, encouragement, and practical steps you can actually use in real life. And if you found this helpful, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our future videos focused on helping older adults stay strong, mobile, and independent. Take care of yourself. Keep moving every day. And most importantly, I wish you many more years of healthy movement, confidence, and freedom ahead.